What's up everyone, Mike here from The Art of Guitar. Sorry it's been a while since my last video. I'm going to be pumping out about 3 or 4 of them in a row, so get ready for that. I was just thinking the other day there was a time when I was kind of an ass when it came to judging other guitar players, and I would actually rip on some of them. Like one time after one of our shows, I had a kind of a off night. I was feeling sloppy. It just wasn't really playing that well. And my bandmates came up and I was joking around, but I was like, man, I felt like CC DeVille tonight. I was just sloppy and everything. And I thought that would make them laugh, but they didn't. There's just no expression on their face. And so right away I changed course. I'm like, I mean, Mick Mars. I just felt like Mick Mars. And still no reaction. And finally my friend laughed a little bit because he knew I felt uncomfortable. And so that really stuck with me. And I thought about how much of a snob I had become because I judged all guitar players according to how much they would shred, like Steve Vai or John Petrucci or Eric Johnson. Those are the big guys in my life, Joe Satriani, all those dudes. And when it came down to it, I was missing out on so many great guitar players because that was what I judged people on, their ability to shred. And so I had to really dig deep and find out where I was going wrong. And so it took a lot of years to really appreciate these guys. But when it came down to it, I started to try to play Motley Crue songs. I even joined a tribute band. And I tried to play some Poison solos. And I could play them, but I just couldn't do them justice the way the original players would do them. You see that sometimes when a band will lose a guitar player, they'll bring somebody else in and it's just never quite the same. And you wonder, what did that other guitar player have that was so perfect for the band? Some people like to rip on Ace Frehley from Kiss because his leads are a lot of pentatonic stuff. And I did a whole artist series, so I know that that goes really in depth. But it's easy to just hear his playing and think, oh, it's just easy stuff. Just because it's easy doesn't mean it's not great. So if you got rid of Ace Frehley, which they did, and bring in somebody else, by the way, I love Bruce Kulick's playing, but it just was never the same Kiss afterwards, and we all know that. One thing that really changed my mind is I tried to play some Kiss songs and some Motley Crue songs as backing tracks where I was the guitar player, and I thought, oh, I could easily play these riffs. But when I listened back, it just didn't have the same magic, and that really told me, you could play the same notes as other guitar players, but it doesn't mean you're going to have the same essence that they have, the same magic or whatever you want to call it. And that to me is the most important thing, is a guy like Mick Mars brings exactly what Motley Crue needs for that band to be what it is. Without it, it's just not the same. Even if you bring in the best guitar player, quote unquote, into the band, into the mix, it doesn't mean it's going to work. So I tell you this to remind you because I really needed to be reminded too of when you're looking and judging guitar players, try to see beyond just pure technique and shredability and go deeper and try to see if they bring a certain kind of magic, a certain kind of vibe to a band that just cannot be duplicated. And under the comments, go ahead and leave some examples of guitar players that you think fit in that category. It'd be really interesting to read that. And look out for some of these videos coming out very soon. Like I said, we have about 3 or 4 in a row coming out, and we're putting a ton of videos on the main site, theartofguitar.com. So come check that out because we're going to be teaching like crazy in the next few months because we're going to be moving spaces, and I want to get as many videos out as I can before the big move. So all right, we'll see you guys there. Thanks. Bye.